Legacy of Crime.
And I'm here. Just kidding. Hello, I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and I hope that you guys can hear me okay. What a day. Oh, man, what a day. Did it just freeze on me? It did. Oh, no. No, no, no. Not good. Oh, no. Okay, I'm back. I hope you guys can hear me. If you can, do me a favor, hit the like button. I need to get to that 20,000 mark, and I'm not going to get there with this kind of internet. Oh my God, what a day. Today we're talking about Luigi Mangione. And, I've been following this since last night. It's been like a roller coaster. UnitedHealthcare shooter is now identified, obviously, by NYPD. We're going to talk about what the motive is today because I have so many theories, but my theories are intelligent and backed up by obviously research. And, today I worked, but it didn't feel like I was at work because I was doing this for you guys to bring you this show. So please, please, please hit the like button and do support the channel. If you have the means, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Chat, Super Sticker, or gifting memberships. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Okay, so no, infamy, too rich yet too irrelevant. That's a good one. That's a good one. HRH, I like that. I like that I have some new people here. I'm going to shout out to you. I haven't seen you before. So welcome to the crime crew and welcome to the folks that came here that haven't been here before. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to start off with this quick 52-second view of the perp walk. I know many of you waited for the perp walk today, and so did I. And every other channel is streaming this, but I have a perspective for you that's not the same as everyone else's. And I'm going through lots and lots of crap with my insurance company, and I'll tell you more as we go. I was listening to Megyn Kelly get into this case, and oh my God, I mean, she nailed it. And I don't need to play her nailing it because I can nail it for you when we have to talk about insurance. I'm so heated today. So let's watch this. We have some clips. I've got what's left of social media. Remember, we captured all of his social media and he took Facebook down. So I'm going to get into his social media before it gets pulled down. All right, here's the first one for you. This is the perp walk, but you don't have to wait all day. Let's see. And there's not even volume. This is the guy. This is the guy we've been waiting for and looking for. There it is. That's him, y'all. That's him. Now, let me tell you before I finish getting into this. Lots of people are on his side, Lynette. Lots of people are. And you know what? I'm not on his side, but I can sympathize with this guy and many other people that have been screwed out of healthcare insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, any insurance that you purchase, I say boo to that. But the people that are having the best CEO shooter contest, shame on them, you guys. Shame on them. I don't know if the McDonald's employer is going to get $60,000 reward, but I think the person that tipped him in should get the reward. I think that. Now we're going to get a whole bunch into healthcare and insurance. My God. Now, I hope you guys realized what you're getting into today. Let's watch this, and then I'm going to show you something that I saw, and I'm going to say this is going to be my big motive. Most of the pictures that we see from this guy are him in 2019. I'm going to play it again. He's got a master's. We're going to look at his LinkedIn. We're going to look at his Twitter. You're going to see the things he tweets about. This guy is one of those guys that wants anarchy. He wants anarchy. Doesn't want there to be he wants it to be just a single source of, let's say, kingship, where there's a dictator. That's what this guy wants, and it's very apparent. So his motive is a little unclear, but knowing what I know with the screws in his back, I'm pretty sure it's motivated by the healthcare that he didn't receive, even though he's a rich guy. This guy's rich. What is he doing? What does he need that for? He's rich. I don't understand. All right. So if you guys didn't see the press conference today, I have a quick view of that, but now I'm going to play this, and then we're going to get into his social media before it disappears. I do want you to see a couple of presentations and screens that I have. Hey, Mom, how's it going? All right, listen up. Person of interest, we now know who it is.
Breaking news, a person of interest is in custody in connection with the killing of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, and he has ties to the Bay Area. Good afternoon, I'm Ryan Yamamoto. The arrest comes after a multi-state man.
Now, remember this, I'm in the Bay Area. I'm in San Jose, California. So when I saw this and that the fact that it had to do, there was a breaking news and ties to California and the Bay Area, I said, what? So we're going to see how he traveled place to place. He lived in Hawaii. And what was he doing in New York? He was specifically in New York for that. And no longer do I believe that there was any kind of hit. He's the guy that wanted the CEO out of here. No hit was put on this guy. It was all him.
This is the Lincoln photo of the man in custody, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, who police say has ties to San Francisco. New York police say Mangione was arrested on a weapons charge at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, after a McDonald's employee called police. Investigators say he had a weapon consistent with the gun used in the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Thompson was gunned down last Wednesday outside the Hilton Hotel in Manhattan. Just over an hour ago, the NYPD commissioner described how Mangione was taken into custody.
Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with.
All right. Now, I want to get into that as well. We're going to get into a whole bunch because we have a huge deep dive here on this guy. We have a deep dive. We have all kinds of stuff on these guys. We've been doing this since yesterday, just digging and digging and digging, and it keeps changing. The target keeps changing. So if there were a target, it would be going all over the place like this. So yesterday we were like, oh, we know his name, but we're not going to say it. And now we know he's a rich boy. He's a rich guy. He's got this fantastic education. So it doesn't really make sense when they talk about his mom being denied for healthcare and him being mad about that. I like your comments. He's so virtuous. Why did he help those who really needed healthcare but denied? I don't think he actually cares. I think he's a narcissist, and in his own mind, he wanted to start this movement. He wanted people to get dressed up. He was watching the television while that was happening, and boy, was he excited about that. Boy, was he excited. And yeah, to be caught at McDonald's, yeah, I'm just glad he was caught, because a lot of people are on his side, and I'm on his side about feeling that way about insurance, but not in the way that you execute someone. Otherwise, we're going to have complete anarchy. All right. No, we're doing digging. Stay here, TK. We've got much more. We've been digging all day, and I'm going to tell you about. I'm just playing the very intro information to get it out to you guys.
Those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset.
And NYPD detectives are now on their way to Pennsylvania to question Mangione. They say the gun he was carrying may have been a 3D printed ghost gun. As for that handwritten document found on him, police.
Let me tell you this, and I have experience with that, folks. So yes, he's a rich boy. I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to show you his Twitter. I'm going to show you things he talked about. We dug into him and his family. His family has money. They own companies that are worth money. So it doesn't make sense for it to have been some kind of I got turned away from my claim. Although he does have a back. He has screws in his back. I'm going to show you that next. So yeah, poor little rich boy. Now, a ghost gun. Oh God, you guys, I wanted to get into this so bad. That's another reason why I'm covering this. A ghost gun. You ask me what a ghost gun is? Okay, let me tell you something. Ghost guns are so easy to make and to sell and to do all kinds of transactions with them. Lucky, ding, 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 ding. Remember, I'm the COO of a mechanical engineering company, which gives me access to 3D printers. It gives me access to giant printers that print out metal parts. So let me tell you what a 3D GUN is. Okay, what it is you take the upper, and the upper, all you have to do is get the upper part. And you saw the upper part of his gun that had was perfectly fit. You take the upper, or you take usually you get the upper and you 3D print the lower, and bam, there it is. Now they're speculating that it's the vet gun, but now I'm thinking it's a 3D printed gun with a silencer, and it's just so easy. It's just so easy to print that out. I'm going to tell you, and I'm not going to say anything else, but I work for a mechanical engineering company, and what I'm going to say is, yes, we'll say that, Foxy Amazon. We'll just say I have lots of knowledge about GATs. You call it GATs, I call it ghost printed guns. I know many people that have an arsenal of AR-15s. Now, the silencer is long because silencers have to be long in order to silence the way they did. Now, I put my video up on Patreon. I put the video up on Patreon with the full audio, and boy, was that baby silent. Boy, was that gun silent. And this guy's a nerd. I'm going to show you next why I'm so excited about this case when I dug in. Where he works is a company that I would be working for, or he'd be working for me. So when I get into his LinkedIn, you're going to see this guy would be somebody that I would call up as an engineer and either go send somebody to his company, or he would come to ours and work. He does exactly the things that I do. He's an engineer, and he aligns with the companies that we work for. It's crazy. So when I saw this, I said, what was I thinking? I knew better. All right. Thank you for the 420 Guilty of Crime membership. I'm very fired up today. There's 300 people in chat. If you have the means to support, if you don't, hit the like button and share, please. Yeah, even though it's a ghost gun, we're still thinking it's a vet weapon. No, I do not think it's a vet weapon. I'm pretty sure it's a ghost gun, and it's only because I know. Trust me, just trust me. You've seen me shoot, you've seen me do GUN demonstrations on my channel. Go back and look at my Delphi case where I showed you guys how to use a weapon and what happens with the kickback from the weapon, etc. I know all about guns, and when I see this, I know what's going on here. All right, let's finish this and we'll get into him. I'm going to get into him so we can see what the heck's going on with this
Say
guy.
it was 3 pages with writing suggesting he had ill will toward corporate America. On his
Corporate
LinkedIn
America,
page,
that's it.
Mangione says he spent a summer at Stanford in 2019
Yep.
as a head counselor and artificial intelligence teaching assistant for the program, geared toward
That's
high
right
school
here.
students.
Right
We are
here.
trying to gather more information on his time
Yep.
there and any other potential ties to the Bay Area. But to recap, this is what we know about the suspect. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was born and raised in Maryland. He last lived in Honolulu. He's being questioned as a person of interest in connection to the murder of United.
And I like that question that you ask about it being jammed. Absolutely. When you're creating a ghost gun, you have to create that ghost gun. You have to pick out all the filament of it. You got to get all of it off and clean it up. You got to sand it down and make it perfect. And then, even then, it will still get jammed depending on how the casings are, what type of bullets you use, because it's not made from a manufacturer. It's not smooth. Thank you so much, Patty Ward, for the $3 super sticker. Choo choo. If anybody wants to go in on that train, please do. Mama Sage, I'm glad you love this channel. Now, it got jammed because that's what happens, especially with ghost guns, because you can't get inside the barrel the way that you could, if it was manufactured. You can't go in there and sand it down the way you'd want, but you can't trace that thing. I'm surprised he still had it on him, guys. Why did he have it on him? We're going to talk about that. What's up, Darlene? Good to finally see you. So this is a 26-year-old freaking guy living in Hawaii. I'm going to show you where he worked next. This is almost done. I'm going to pull up his LinkedIn. All right, this is crazy. This is a crazy case. I mean, man, if he wouldn't have just took that guy out the way he did, I might be a little more on his side, but I feel like he could have done something better. All right, let's get this out of here. I'm going to stop sharing this. We're going to dig into him before his social media gets pulled down, because earlier I was ready to show you guys his social media and I couldn't because the Facebook got pulled down. Hello, Miss Caitlin. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member of Guilty of Crime. I appreciate you. Much love to you, and you won't be disappointed here. All right, so here we are. Here he is. He's still got his X. He's still got X or Twitter. I call it X. So let's see this a little bit better here. And thank you guys. Don't forget, I'm all hyped up. So hit the like, share, subscribe, all the stuff. All right. So look at this. What do you see right away? You see this guy. We saw a picture of him a minute ago. This is his I'm dressed up picture, right? It doesn't have the hoodie on. It's not the I'm a shooter. But then you look up here and look what he's got going on here. Look at this. So he's also a very muscular guy. He's a good-looking guy, which we saw from the pictures, but look at his back. He's had some kind of back surgeries, and a back surgery like that is going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've gotten surgeries done where it's just like my gallbladder, and this was 15 years ago, and it cost $30,000 for one visit. So look at his back. Think about what it took to have to get there to that situation to even get there. Yeah, look at that. He's a good-looking guy. He works out. He's fit, but he's very young to have those pins in his back. So right there is going to give you guys a good look at what's happening. Yeah, $1 million without insurance. I deflated it to 30,000 15 years ago. So even to get a surgery, you still have to go to all these appointments and these post-ops and pre-ops and the surgery. It's bad. Yeah, constant at 26 years old. Imagine having to live with that and your insurance company telling you to screw right off. Okay, Nikki, I hope you feel better. Thank you for being here. Jory says, I've had 3 spinal cord surgeries. It wasn't on disability. I'd be screwed. Okay, so we got Rich Boy here. All right, we got Mr. Rich Boy, and you see that. And then I'm going to show you a GoFundMe from somebody that's possibly in his family that had cancer. Many people thought that he had somebody around him that had cancer and got turned down. Now, right before I hopped on the show, and thank you, Bubblicious. I love your excitement because you're an element with this case. Yes, I just got turned down for my roof, you guys. Liberty Mutual. I put in a request for $109,000 and they came back and said they're only going to cover 53,000 of it, you guys. So I came on heated. I'm very upset about my roof right now. Yes, Lynette. Yes, I'm very upset. I was just talking to my guy. I'm very, very not happy. Now, his social media came down. We screened, we have it. I'm going to show you right now. His Facebook came down. Hopefully, Synth or one of the mods, Bree or Petty, was able to get his Facebook, but he hadn't posted on it since 2019, right? But I have his stuff here. I'm showing you guys right now. Facebook was only when they pulled down. All right. So we've got this guy. He's a MSE and a BSE in computer science at Penn. You guys, he's living in Hawaii, which we know Hawaii is it costs about 5 times more than even the Bay Area. Okay. When I go to Hawaii, for a gallon of milk is like $9-10. And over here it's like $6. Okay. So we still have X. I'm on X right now. All right. People thought it was a female too, but I knew it was a male by his nose and the structure. Yeah, we're gonna have to go over that. So I'm with this. The whole insurance stuff is pissing me off, and I understand this guy's frustration, but you don't execute people. All right, 28,000. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Artemis Prime. Absolutely. All right, we're looking live at his. Now we're looking. Now remember, I am the COO of a mechanical engineering company. This guy is a guy that would work for my company. Exactly. MS. That's a mechanical. It's an engineering degree and a BSE, but he's got it in computer science. All right. So I normally work with MEs and BEs or Ps, but yeah, these are the guys. He's got his link tree, which is interesting because he's Mr. Rich Boy. 2016. And then let's look at some of his posts. Now I notice all you guys here. I see YouTube bad actors here and some other folks. So you guys have been following him. I didn't even follow him yet. He hasn't posted for quite some time. So if you take a look at this one, December 8th, 2022, 7 years ago, I gave my high school senior speech on this topic. Today I'll be talking to you about the future. And then he says about the topics ranging from conscious artificial intelligence to human immortality. Likely you'll dismiss all this pretty quickly as interesting, but just science fiction. So it gives you a good idea, you guys. If you haven't seen this, look at what he's got going on there. Do you see that? Yeah, Hawaii versus jail. There's also a 3-page manifesto. We're gonna listen to the presser, data engineer, right? He'll be popular in prison, but look at that thing, you guys. Who does that? So he did that 7 years ago. Normal range of possible states for human race constantly shifting. Did he think he was gonna assassinate that guy? Just go behind him and assassinate him, and this was gonna happen? He's got this whole thing going on. So he's got extinction and immortality, things that suck, things that are good. He pushes it to each side, and then 2 likely possible states for ASI permanent. I mean, this shows you that there's some things that are going off in his head are a little bit different. And I understand where you guys are coming from, but June 10th, this actually isn't too long ago. I mean, he's an uber nerd, you guys. Smartphones and mental health. Well, he wasn't paying too much close attention to his mental health now, was he? Because he let it get the best of him, you guys. Yeah, he let it get the best of him. And hugs to you all. Yeah, it's got to be something with the mental illness. And then Rich, right? Do you remember the guy in Santa Barbara that shot up the school because he was couldn't get laid? I'm gonna let my dog in. Yeah, karma caught up with the greedy people. We're gonna get into that guy too. That guy was making $10 million a year, the one that he shot and the one that took his life. Let me grab Wes. I'm sorry. I guess I could have been playing a video, and I also picked the wrong browser today, you guys. So something broke him. Yes, I agree. What's up, Kryptonite? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. All right. So you can see some of his posts here. Peter Thiel, many great startups this guy would be the ideal candidate for my company. Let me just tell you right now, he's got the look for Google, Apple, and Facebook, who we work for. He's got the brains, he's got the degree. Right here. Here's a great summary of an anxious generation. You think the anxious generation, do you think his mind was going around, folks? Do you think his mind was going around and the anxiety and like the angst, and then him seeing the CEO and how much he's making? Do you think that that's what snapped? I think it's a combination. So let's keep going. I'm going to show you his LinkedIn next. It's amazing how caffeine is really the only drug that's achieved this level of social acceptance. I mean, look at what he's a smart guy, but he's really digging deep into his theories, other people's theories, and bigger things for us as a human race. I could definitely see this happening to this guy, or it didn't happen to him. He happened to this, but look at this. Disapproves God, and within 2 decades his side is worshiping DE shrine, using made-up pronouns like religious mantras, and firing professors for saying men can't get pregnant. I mean, this face right here is like the face of a hacker. That face that he's got drawn there, I mean, I feel like he snapped. Probably tired of seeing him make money from people suffering. I agree. I'm tired of it too. Insurance denied paying his stay in the psych ward. There's a good possibility. All right, we could dig through his stuff all day and kind of see what his mind is going through. But hopefully that doesn't come down. His Facebook didn't have much on there. It was really old. He hadn't posted since 2019. But if you look at this, your commitment to long-term civilization success, Elon, is not universally shared. It's not even the majority position. What you call the woke mind virus cares about one thing: equality. The levelers want to destroy everything because in the rubble, we will all be equal. I mean, do you see this? He's talking about ancient Rome was the world's most powerful empire. Am I making a point here, yo? Book smart doesn't, equal sound mind. He had money for his health care. He absolutely did. Thank you, Tracy. Good to see you guys. Did you hear about the jacket and the backpack sold out? No, I did. But if you want to send a leak, go ahead. I mean, this guy, if a lot of people dressed up, they did that. They dressed up as him. I mean, look at this. He'd go on and on and on. He's talking about society and just big problems in worldly. What being smart makes you more prone to confirmation bias. In retrospect, it shouldn't have been surprising. Confirmation bias is what happens when the little lawyer in your head takes control of your thinking process, and smart people have a very little lawyer in there. All right. You guys understand. Let's get to his LinkedIn, and then I'm going to play some more things that just came out. All day, like I said, all day we've been as a team here. Yeah, $200 backpack. I'm telling you, this guy has got money. This guy's family, he's got money. Ted Kaczynski Jr., right? They've got money. So what pushed him over the edge? Was it the pain? What do you think? You think it was the pain in his back and the working out and his mind just collapsed? What do you guys tell me what you think? Because we're going to keep going. So he's a data engineer at this company called TrueCar. All right. He's got 4,022 followers now. Living in Hawaii. There's his contact info right there, which isn't much, but you can see he's got that professional look. He's got the parents to back it up. He don't know if he's gonna need the money or what his parents are gonna do, but about gays, what the heck? I don't know. People are posting weird stuff. They were trying to say that he was transgender, and they were saying theories that he's trans and he didn't get the money for surgery. That's not the case at all. This guy is a well-to-do guy. We're gonna go over his background. It is definitely vigilante and delusional here, all right? Reporting says he's estranged from his family. Well, then that might tell you something. Whenever I told people about this and they said to me, that doesn't make sense. He has money. So he's been working. I'm in California. He's been at TrueCar for 4 years and 2 months, Santa Monica, California. He's a freaking data engineer 3, guys. He went to, what did they say? He went to Harvard. Well, he went to University of Pennsylvania, but he was also here in the Bay Area. He's a data engineer 3, worked his way up from a data engineer 1 over the last 4 years, very stable. Went to Stanford, head counselor, artificial intelligence teaching assistant. You guys, what makes a person like this that has the looks, has the money, has the skills? He's in Phi Kappa Psi. What the heck? Cum laude, Lambda chapter. I mean, did you got anybody see this coming, really? Is there any way we could have saw this? Thank you. Thank you so much, Jojo. Thank you for the $5 super chat. This is for everyone who wants to donate but is unable. There's 415 people in chat. All you guys got to do is hit the like button and then share my content. We'll get to 20,000. We'll get to 20,000 real soon. 20,000 followers. We actually just hit 420 people. So there's your 420, Foxy Amazon. All right. This guy's a bit cuckoo. A bit cuckoo. He had everything for him. You guys, you can't make this stuff up. So let's get into this. I'm going to pull him out. I have so much more to go over. So I'm going to start with this timeline so you guys can see. And I picked the wrong browser today. I'm sorry. Let's get into this. I'm going to show you the movement of what happened today. All right. Timeline shows suspects' movement, and it happened real quick, you guys. It happened quickly. All right. So New York, a man believed to be the person we now know. Monday in Pennsylvania on a firearms charge. NYPD announced, and we'll get into the announcement. I just want to make sure you guys see the work that we're doing around here. Okay. So commissioner, we're going to listen to that. She named 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. And I hope I'm saying that right. The 50-year-old father of 2 was killed, and that's Thompson, right? So for all of you guys that are saying yes to him, remember Thompson lost his life. He was a father of 2, killed early Wednesday morning outside the hotel on 6th Avenue. We saw the surveillance. Police said the suspect escaped through the alley. And then the police department chief of detectives said he's believed to have arrived in New York on November 24th on a bus originated in Atlanta. Now, this is a big deal and why they caught him. All right. So here's the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. This is where the CEO was, his life was taken. New York Hilton Midtown. It gives you a good idea with the map there. And then Hilton's downtown, located at 6th Avenue between 54th and 55th. All right. So really, I want you to see the movements timeline. So 7:30 a.m., he's coming in from a bus, George Washington Bridge bus station, 7:30 in the morning. And then 7:04, they see him get into a taxi at the bus station. Okay, actually, it starts here. 5:30 a.m., he leaves the hotel. And then 5:41, he's outside of the Hilton. 6:17. Now he's moving around. They got this all on video, you guys. It was a fast one, right? 6:17. He's inside a Starbucks. 6:46. He's Thompson shot outside the hotel, and then he rides his bike into Central Park. We saw that on the video. 6:56 before 7 a.m. He exits Central Park, and then by an hour. 6:56, and then 2 minutes later, he's seen on West 85th. 7:04, he gets into a taxi, and then he enters the bus station. He's out, you guys. That was quick. He started down here, moved his way all around, and then back out. How the heck did they find him? So November 24th, 10 days before the shooting, he arrives at Port Authority bus on 42nd after taking a Greyhound. Then he took a cab. But you know what? I'm wondering, you guys, he knows. I got there's some people saying free Luigi. That's funny. And we got a lot more today. I just want you to know this guy is very intelligent. He's very book smart. He has degrees. He knows what's going on. And yet he's all over cameras, just in and out, in and out. Wish could be more. Wait, you guys. Oh my God, I missed that. Jory Johnson, I love you. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. All of it helps. You have no idea. And I might be back on here with another one of those dang GoFundMe things for my roof, because right now I'm upset at the insurance companies, you guys. I'm very upset at the insurance companies. All right. So I can get down and I could empathize with this guy, but I can't get down with the execution of. The media knows he was a father of two. You can't go around doing things like this because you have issues with these insurance. What if it was you? Exactly. And I'm with you on that. We do true crime here. All right. So he got on the Greyhound, took a cab, checked into the hotel. Actually, it was this hostel on Amsterdam Avenue. So rich guy is doing stuff that normal people us normal folks do. He's staying at hostels, you guys. Darlene, my girl, thank you so much for the $2.99 super chat. You guys are amazing. Mom, I don't like it, but wouldn't do what he did. No, I wouldn't. And I just got a blow from our insurance company today, and I would never do that. All right, so you can see what's happening in this guy's head. November 29th, he checks out of the hostel. He's in a hostel, guys, not even like a nice hotel. Hostels aren't that good. They're not that good. All right. This 2 days before the shooting, he arrives in New York from Minnesota, where he lived, and he was scheduled to speak at the Inventors Conference. All right. This guy knows what's up. Then December 4th, the day of the shooting, he was seen on surveillance. We just saw that 5 a.m., 5:41, goes downtown to Hilton, 6:17, seen at the Starbucks. So he's all over. We see him. They catch him there, and then what I just showed you. So he's moving all around. He takes off on his bike. They get the backpack, and then today is a whole new scene. So let's get into the next thing. I want you guys, if you didn't see it today, we're going to watch that presser. We're going to watch this, and then we'll watch the presser. Oh man, we did so much on this guy today. I don't even know where to start, but I guess this is a good way to start. All right, here we go. Actually, this is not the one. I just shared that one with you. This is the one I want to share with you. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. Don't worry. And if I need to do a part 2, I will, because I know you guys are going to want to know all the information.
This afternoon, in a story that has captured the country's attention for the better part of the last 6 days, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione has been named a person of interest in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. At this hour, he's being held for questioning in central Pennsylvania. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch confirmed this afternoon that Mangione was arrested on firearms charges and that he had a number of items on him that matched the details of the gunman.
Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized. Responding officers
McDonald's, you
questioned the
guys.
suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident.
Mangione, as she said, was eating at the McDonald's when an employee recognized him and called the police. The NYPD commissioner today acknowledged that getting the surveillance footage out was key to capturing Mangione.
We must also acknowledge the instrumental role the media and the public played in this case. The images that we shared with the public were spread far and wide, and the tips we received led to the recovery of crucial evidence. We should never
Absolutely, you
underestimate the
guys.
power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations.
Mangione was found more than 200 miles from Midtown Manhattan, where Thompson was murdered, and on the very same day that loved ones are holding a funeral service for Thompson. As for a motive, police recovered a handwritten 3-page document that
There it
police
is.
are calling a manifesto. NYPD confirms that Mangione.
All right, so we want to get a hold of that manifesto, you guys. We definitely want to get a hold of that. And I just got the arrest document from Bree, so thank you. I'm doing as much as I can, you guys. I have a lot of information coming at me at once, and I have a ton of background information on him, on Thompson, on everything. Yeah, skinny jeans aren't attractive. I think a lot of people thought that it was a female. I saw so many people thinking it was a female, and then he had this pretty big smile. Last night I saw people talking about it, and I nailed it. I said it's an Italian guy. They were saying that it was people were saying all kinds of different ethnicities, but we're going to look at the arrest document after this. It just came out. I want to show you guys that. I feel sad for the Thompson family. I want to get into that too, but we're doing as much as we can here. So much information's out there. I wish I'd used a different browser though, because it's so low. It's playing so
appeared
low.
to have ill will towards corporate America. Sources telling the New York Times that Mangione wrote in the document this, quote, criticizing healthcare companies for putting profits above care. Mangione was also found with the so-called ghost gun.
Okay.
That is a firearm that may have been made with a 3D printer. It's where we start today with some of our favorite reporters and friends. With me at the table, former top
I'm going to go
official
back
at the
to that real
Department of
quick. Hold on.
Justice with a 3D printer. It's
All right, you guys. So that's absolutely correct what they're saying. If that is the one right there, you can see. Let me bring myself smaller. All right. You can see, you can always tell the smoothness of the grip. You can see it's a 3D printer when that happens. So what happens is the top portion of it, I can go right now onto eBay, you guys. I can go on eBay right now and buy that upper. I can say I want an upper 9mm Smith & Wesson. I can order that upper. It comes, it's not all put together. And then I go to my 3D printer and I put in a part file, and the part file is the bottom part. It's called the lower. And the lower is normally where the number is that people would scratch off, like the number that has to be registered. So I go to the upper, buy that, and then I print the lower, smash that gun together, throw a magazine in there, and I can start shooting. No serial numbers on the gun because the upper doesn't have the serial numbers and the lower is printed from a 3D printer. So when I saw that and I heard that, I'm going to tell you right now, without getting myself in trouble, I'm very experienced in this. So I'm experienced in the 3D printing, in the ghost guns. I can't believe that they actually use the ghost gun in this. And I'm surprised that there aren't more people that are printing out ghost guns like that. I'm really, truly surprised. Yeah, someone thought it was Roman or Middle Eastern. Anyway, yeah, very surprised and a bit excited to see this.
It's where we start today with some of our favorite reporters and friends. With me at the table, former top official at the Department of Justice, MSNBC legal analyst Andrew Weissman. Also joining us, former assistant director for counterintelligence at the FBI, senior MSNBC national security and intel analyst Frank Figliuzzi's back. We're going to start with my colleague, NBC News correspondent Sam Brock. He's outside the hotel where the shooting took place. Sam, what's the latest?
Sure. So this all seemed to resolve, or at least the person of interest, Nicole, a long way from Midtown Manhattan, about a 4.5-hour drive from here to Altoona. Let's start with the top line right now, Nicole, which is after roughly 5.5 days of a manhunt and images saturating everyone's TVs and social media channels. It was a McDonald's employee in Altoona at about 9:15 this morning that detected suspicious activity and recognized that face. and called police, and they then responded, questioned the individual at hand, and after some questioning found out, as you said, that he had a fake ID that exactly matched the same name on a fake ID that was presented to that hostel on the Upper West Side on November 24th. So that's part A. Part B, the firearm. Nicole, the NYPD here had spent hours and hours, days, searching for the firearm, knowing how paramount it was, the ballistics testing and how it could be connected to the person of interest in this case, had combed through large portions of Central Park, did not find the firearm. But earlier today, we found out that this individual, the person of interest, did have a firearm that matched the description of the one that was used in the murder, which, according to police today, we later found out was a ghost gun likely made or potentially made from a 3D printer. All of that lines up. Here is another sort of very difficult part of all this to comprehend as we're learning more about Mangione and his family. We've learned, Nicole, he's got a large one. It's prominent. Huge political and real estate footprint in the Baltimore area. He has 2 siblings. He has dozens upon dozens of cousins and uncles. They own multiple country clubs. His uncle, or excuse me, his cousin is a member of the Maryland legislature. He is a state delegate, the chief.
You hear that? He has a huge outreach, and I have a GoFundMe for Mangione That's Possible family, and I want you to see that because he also had a GoFundMe for cancer, which means he was probably turned down for a lot of it. All right, Johnny Brown says he was in a live chat yesterday, and Johnny, I believe you. I bet he was. He is thrilled with himself. I'll tell you. He knew that he was on camera. He knew it. Synth, you say what? We have the GoFundMe page, and it talks about his family. There's a huge outreach with his family. I'm almost positive that is a cousin or relative that got turned down for health care. He's screwed, but he looks fairly pleased with himself. He also follows a lot of incel. Yeah, I'm going to show you the GoFundMe after LA. He's a narcissist. I think he's probably an incel as well. Yeah, I bet you he is. Yeah, his family's wealthy. I'm going to go over that, what his parents own, etc. He used his name Luigi. He was so angry. Oh, wow. Really? What did he say, Johnny? I'd like to know about that. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to go over him in a sec.
Staff for Nico Mangione said that is his cousin. We are going to be coming out with a statement later today. So he's all these family members, this massive presence, and it was a random stranger that pointed out to police that this might be their person. Again, Mangione has not been charged with anything. We're also learning much more about his background as well, Nicole, just to dip into that slightly. Gilman School, which is an all-boys school in Baltimore, did issue a note to graduates, to its community today, saying that the person that was arrested and really wanted for questioning in connection with what happened with the Midtown murder was an alumnus of our school, and our hearts go out to everybody that was affected. On LinkedIn, Mangione says that he was, in fact, a valedictorian of that school. His fraternity at the University of Pennsylvania confirms he did attend Penn from 2017 to 2020 and was a member of their fraternity there. According to the University of Pennsylvania, someone by the name of Luigi Mangione did receive their master's in engineering at Penn. He has connections to Stanford as well. Stanford confirming that someone with that very same name was a head counselor in pre-collegiate studies. So Penn, Stanford, valedictorian potentially at his high school. This seemed like a really well-educated guy with a prominent family, with a huge footprint in Baltimore. And here we are now, almost 6 days into this manhunt, and police have said it was the incredible work that they did, combing through hundreds upon hundreds of video surveillance systems and using drones.
And you guys, you know what? I don't want anyone fighting. So the crow, whatever you guys want to say, you know what? If you, Lisa is me, free Luigi, you guys are welcome to have your opinion. My channel is absolutely all freedoms of speech. If you don't like gays, you can say it politely. If you don't like, if you like incels, if you're all about Luigi and you want to free Luigi, I'm all about whatever you guys. Now, for me, I'm a 45-year-old woman that's been married for 19 years with 2 kids, and I follow most of the laws. So that being said, I think he could have handled it better, but everybody has their own opinion. So you guys, yeah, be respectful. You're absolutely being respectful to Crow. Absolutely. You're welcome. I respect you. You respect me. That's how it goes. So you're all good. You guys, you say free Luigi in Rikers Island. I'm going to show you something next about Thompson's bodyguard and why he should have had a bodyguard that day. I can't believe he didn't have a bodyguard, a man of that stature. Yes, I don't believe in violence either. I absolutely don't. But when you look into the eyes of somebody or the people that have been following that guy, it's interesting what they think is violence and what they don't think. Just like Daniel Penny. You saw Daniel Penny today. I agreed with Daniel Penny. I do not think Daniel Penny should have been arrested. I do not think that he should have been charged. And Daniel Penny got a not guilty today. And I'm all for that because you know what? If I'm on a subway and somebody's harassing somebody or threatening, you know what? Go stop them. Go stop them. And if you choke them out and they're on drugs and their breaths get taken away, well, that's what happens. You don't want people to stop helping people. Brandy, love you too, girl. All right, let's keep going. I got so much more to go over.
And trying to effort the channels of reaching the public through whatever means possible to get those images out there, coming out with batches of images. But the most clear picture certainly was the one from the hostel with his mask pulled down, according to police, because the person of interest in this case was flirting with the person at the desk. So we now wait to find out whether or not this is going to change in terms of the designation from person of interest to anything else. But that questioning, you would have to imagine right now, Nicole, continues as we learn more and more information.
Sam, do you know logistically when or if the NYPD will be in front of him, or if they're in front of him right now, or if he's still being questioned by Pennsylvania authorities?
Our understanding was about an hour or so ago, NYPD detectives, and my timing could be slightly off, maybe it's a little bit longer than that, arrived on scene and we're going to be assisting in that investigation, Nicole. So you'd have to imagine that that is ongoing. And then the Blair County government there says that they should be updating us on whether or not there's going to be any charges about a weapon, for example, possession of a weapon that could be dealt with before any other charges would be forthcoming. So there is going to be an order of operations here, but our understanding is detectives were on the ground about 2 hours ago, hour and a half, something like that.
All right, this is a crazy game. All right, let's go. I'm going to show you some of the background stuff on him just because we all want to know. And I still want to talk. Thompson is our victim. And like I said, whatever you guys have your opinion of, United Health Group murder, Brian Thompson is the victim. Let's not forget that. And whether you think this guy's a hero or do you think it's actually going to help? So Flyer B says, I don't condone BT being on live, but I don't have sympathy. Insider trading and $15 million. How much did the investors lose? So I don't sympathize with that either. Right before I got on here, I just got a phone call being turned down from the insurance company telling me they're only going to pay not even half of what they should. So yeah, it's definitely not a video game. Thinks of the video game. Luigi has the abs to get him acquitted, right? That CEO is corrupt, Johnny Brown says. All right, let's look into this guy further. I unbelievable to see this guy and to think that he did this or that he could even look at incel stuff. I mean, he's always smiling. We looked at his social media. Facebook got pulled down. We just looked at X. We just looked at LinkedIn. So his father and he were co-founders of AppRoar. Website was down before it could be checked. All right. Previously employed as a data engineer in TrueCar. We just saw that. Driven by code. I'm not sure what that means. He graduated in 2022 from Penn State. Looks like he did his bachelor's in 3 years and MS in 1. Founded UPenn Game Research and Development Department upgrade. He's smart, you guys. He's really smart, which makes me believe that he taunted the officers. He taunted them. He went on camera, wanted them to see a clear shot of him taking this Brian Thompson's life. All right. Gilman School, Baltimore. That's his high school. We went all the way back, huh? Yes, he was a valedictorian, you guys. This is his speech here, valedictorian speech. I wonder if it's still up. Let's see. Oh, wow. It's actually up. All right, let's watch his, I want to see his movements. All right. No, I'm not condoning comments condoning murder, AC. So let's get rid of that. I'm not condoning murder. I'm saying anything you want to say, you're not going to get attacked for. So, AC, now you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying freedom of speech here. Okay. Freedom of speech, how you feel about the healthcare system, not about murder. So let's not get any trolls in here, because if you start saying things that I'm not saying, then I'm not going to be happy. All right, Luigi and Brian were both valedictorians. Let's take a look at this. We can see how he talks and how he moves, which is very interesting to me. Anyway, hold on one second. Now, we do not condone murder here, so nobody ever said that. Let's get that out of your brain. I condone you saying what you want and being respectful. There was a whole bunch of people that were dressing up as this guy, dressing up as him and having contests to see who dressed up the best. So, yes, I agree. He shot a defenseless man in the back while walking down the street. He hides behind a mask all the way up until today. He's just a useless thug, and so are his supporters. So that's what I'm saying. We have you, Squeaky Will, I respect. I have Johnny Brown saying this, and a whole bunch of people in New York that did a thing for him. Yeah, two things can be true. Don't forget. I didn't say you were disrespectful. I said, let's all be respectful and let's not take what I'm saying out of context. And by you saying I condone murderous comments, I don't condone murderous comments. I condone people to say that they don't believe in this healthcare and the fraud of it, etc. But no. So yeah, we're all good. Just be respectful towards me and the people. All right. Yeah, people dressing up like him. There are people dressing up like him and having a whole like dress up page. It's not condoning, it's condemning antisocial corporate greed. See, there you go. See, we all have different opinions, and there's no way that I'm gonna take people's comments down that have these ideas. All right. Yes. And look at that, Stephanie. The jacket and backpack sold out. That's insane. That's insane. All right, let's listen to this guy. I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing, but I want to see what his speech. I hadn't seen him as younger as he looks very nerdy.
Headmaster Smythe, Mr. Hubeck, members of the Board of Trustees,
you guys, the alleged
family,
killer,
friends, faculty, and fellow students. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Gilman's 116th Founders Day.
That's crazy.
I'm honored to be speaking to you all today on behalf of the Gilman class of 2016. When I started writing the speech, I talked with several students and teachers and asked how they would describe the class of 2016. Many of the students characterized our class as inventive, in both imagination and initiative. At the same time, several teachers reminded me of our class's commitment to Gilman and its traditions. I came to realize that both views are correct.
Look, he just said that too. He just came to say both views are correct, but you know what he did wrong? Very smart, very educated family. Look at his grandfather's a real estate mogul. His dad, him, I don't know what brought him to this. Yeah, people are fed up, Rachel. People are very fed up with not only health insurance, but insurance in general. I've had no roof for the last 9 months, and they just called me and said that they're only going to pay for a part of my roof. How do you pay for a part of my roof? Am I going to go get a ghost gun and take them out? No. All right, I just want to listen to him for a bit.
2016 is truly defined by its inventive, pioneering mentality that accompanies a strong commitment to Gilman tradition. Throughout its time here at Gilman, the class of 2016 has been coming up with new ideas and challenging the world around it.
That's crazy.
Our selling of Chick-fil-A during lunch, arguably the staple of our class, provides a great example.
How do you go from that to that?
In our sophomore year, when brainstorming ways to fundraise, we didn't just settle for the usual methods of selling spirit shirts and Christmas trees. In addition to this, we did what seemed impossible given the tight schedule of the school day and began shuttling dozens of Chick-fil-A sandwiches to Gilman between assembly and lunch. Soon, we were selling over 100 Chick-fil-A sandwiches each day, and what became likely one of the most successful class fundraisers in Gilman's history. But our ability to come up with new ideas didn't start then. I've noticed it as long as I've been here, even in my very first year as a sixth grader.
Thank you, Mr. Beer. I
If
appreciate
any of you have ever been on Gilman's campus before school starts, you would have noticed that every morning, rain or shine, the turf is filled with middle school students playing soccer, football, and frisbee. That tradition was actually started by the class of 2016. As many of you know, Gilman Middle School offers not one, but 2 recesses per day. But for the class of 2016,
I'm going to go a little far. I'm just going
while
to see.
excelling in its technological endeavors. This fusion is such a strong part of Gilman, it's even evident in its physical geography. Just look to the construction outside Gilman, or outside.
Thank you.
Gilman is actively
Mr.
rebuilding
Beer.
itself, but its brand new fields sit next to classic buildings like Cary Hall. Further, these new constructions, for example, Sotier Stadium, bear with them Gilman's rich history in their names. So it's no surprise that the class of 2016 picked up this ability to explore both new and old.
Yes.
And it's no surprise they were able to achieve all they did this year, these last few years as well. But it wasn't just Gilman as an institution.
All right. So I'll put this in link. I'll link it below. So those of you who want to see the way he moves, how he talks as this goes. Sometimes when you look back on a killer, right? Because I like to study serial killers and see what ticks, what happens, what makes them their mind work. I'll link it below, or I'll put it on my Patreon. How about that? Now I'm gonna read Gail's comment. This is an act of terrorism. There's a lot of hate about healthcare. FFS. I lost my husband to cancer and he was treated like garbage by insurance doctors, but killing folks doesn't solve this. I agree. 110%. I agree. I don't think he's going to solve. I don't think Luigi is going to solve anything by doing this. Now I want to hear about. We have not got into Brian Thompson. I want to hear about why a guy that's $10 to $18 million a year would walk down the street unarmed without a bodyguard. You guys, why would somebody do that? Why would someone do that? And yes, my heart goes out to the family of Brian Thompson and the people that have to pick up the pieces. Let's listen to his ex security.
Also married and had 2 children, but it's separated from his wife,
so
and they
low.
lived in different homes. CNN's Whitney Wild is live in Minnetonka, Minnesota, where UnitedHealthcare is headquartered. Whitney, what are you learning about who Brian Thompson was and what he meant to that community?
Well, Laura, what is very clear in talking with people who knew him, they affectionately called him BT, is that he leaves behind a legacy of compassion and of leadership. He was a good colleague, a good friend, a good parent. What we learned in speaking with people who knew him in his past and in his present was that he took a lot of time to think about other people. For example, he spent quite a bit of time working with the Special Olympics. Here are a couple of the people who knew him way back when.
And so here's what we're talking about. Brian Thompson, may his family get the justice that they desire. And whether he was making $18 million a year or whether he was corrupt, it didn't solve anything. This didn't solve anything. What happened? Him getting his life taken the way it did. Yes, we were all able to see it. He's all able to be, people are able to say, look at this guy, we're taking down this industry, but nothing was solved. Nothing's got solved. If anything, it's going to cost us money because whatever they're going to have to pay for here. So I feel like this just makes us go backwards when we do things like this. And I can't imagine why he was walking around without bodyguards. You say you see them walking, a lot of them are very unassuming. Yeah, interesting. Let's listen to this guy again. Prayers for Brian Thompson's family. May he rest in peace.
And his roots ran through Jewell, Iowa, and today working with him at the Special Olympics.
If you look at his class of 93 classmates,
absolutely,
they would all tell you that they knew he was going to strive to be something big.
You have somebody who was incredibly smart. He was very good at the work he did. He was had this attention and he would get into the details. He also had this great energy.
Laura, he was so young to have a job that prestigious. He was just 50 years old, again, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, working his way up through the ranks here, finally achieving that title in 2021, Laura.
I mean, you can't overstate the magnitude of a company like that in my home state of Minnesota. I mean, it is so far reaching. And to think that this is the CEO and
Police
All right, we're
department,
gonna
that's the police department that covers that area, said plainly those were SWAT.
thank you so
Let's-
much for your reporting. Look, Brian,
I want to
my
listen to
next
the.
guest
There it
once
is.
provided Thompson
All right.
with security in the 2000s as
Security.
he actually was rising through the ranks at UnitedHealthcare. Philip Klein
Stephanie.
is the CEO of Klein Investigations, and he joins me now. Philip, thank you for joining. When you heard about Brian Thompson walking early in the morning, alone, no security, was that odd to you?
It was baffling, to be honest with you. You know, you get at somebody in the #1 healthcare organization in the United States of America who is a corporate executive, a high-ranking one, as a matter of fact, just sitting on the board of directors, and he has no protection around him. That
Crazy.
is just baffling. I don't understand it.
Absolutely.
We still don't understand it. It could have been one of two things. According to the teams that we've listened to today, and of course the news media giving us information. One, it could have been a personal choice. He may have not liked living in the bubble, and that's what we call somebody that is in the middle that we are protecting. It's called the bubble. We're around him. Even when he goes to the restroom, we're still right outside the door, you know, that sort of thing. Or United Healthcare chose not to provide security for him. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, what is
I'm
that?
not going to speculate on it, but it is highly unusual for the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation not to have people around him. It's just, again, it's baffling.
That might.
I agree we shouldn't have to, but I've been carjacked before, and when I got carjacked, just doing nothing in the middle of the day out in Oakland looking for an address, somebody pulled behind me, and 5 guys pulled out a gun, pulled out their mask, and carjacked me in the middle of the day. If I could have security, I would, and I'm really surprised that even us individuals, now I've got like 20 cameras on the inside and outside of my house. I've learned how to proficiently use guns and make sure that I'm going to get a body shot. If I do shoot you, I'm going to make sure that I get it where I need to. So, yes, I definitely think that he should have had security, especially seeing these comments. I'm seeing the comments from different people saying, you know, murder doesn't solve anything. And then other people saying they turned down 33% or 30% of the claims. And I know I just got turned down from some insurance that I'm not happy about either. So it's really, and when you start looking into the company, how many things that they've done wrong. I haven't even got into the GoFundMe yet for a possible family member that had cancer that's possibly connected to this shooter, Luigi. So I mean, I'm just really surprised. I didn't have cameras before, but I got carjacked, and these guys got less than 2 years. By the time court was over, they were already out. So yeah, he should have had a bodyguard for sure.
Might be so counterintuitive to people to think that, you know, security, many people think are relegated maybe to high profile athletes or entertainers or people in Hollywood, but the idea that there would be some vulnerability for people in such high profile positions, I think is becoming quite apparent to people, at least this evening. And when you look at that video, the hour of the day, the landscape of Manhattan, just how vulnerable was he to any attack?
Any attack. It could have been a person that had him targeted. It could have been just a street vendor. You just never know. I thought Mary Ellen kicked it out of the park. You know, I love Mary Ellen. Every time she's on television, it's just, I'm intrigued by her. But one thing I haven't heard from a lot of people are two things. Number one, when the event happened. The event happened at 6:30 in the morning. A lot of people say, well, you know, between 6:30 and 7. A lot of people say, well, why is that important? Well, that's shift change for the New York Police Department. So there's not a lot of street officers on the street at that point in time. Second, I believe, just from what I've listened to from newsreader reports and Intelnet reports, I believe that this man had his schedule. I think this man knew his movements.
And I believe this is very personal, you guys. I absolutely want to say that many people said that it might be a hit, or even still to this day might think it's a hit. Jay, that sounds dramatic. Absolutely. Cali legislators need to be replaced. Yes. And will I go and shoot people over it? Absolutely not. I can say United Healthcare, and so far I have no complaints. They've been very good so far. Well, thank you, Sec to None, number one. And I love you guys. I love there's a bunch of new people here in chat. I love that we're being respectful to each other. All opinions are valid. It's kind of like our regular life. We're all valid in what we think and how we feel. And Stephanie, good to see you. I have so much information on this case. And when you see this guy's house, like his home, family home, we got the Google Earth, it's ginormous. My house is like a little teeny dot compared to this guy. It's absolutely insane. This is a good comment. Annie, the CEO, supported illegal using AI in place of people to wrongfully deny elderly patients care to own, and that's why he should have had a bodyguard. 90% error rate. Shameful. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. Take a look at this.
I think he posted up, 5-10 minutes before he walked out of that other hotel and walked around the corner and was in front of the Hilton. I think that that's important. And the last thing that I heard your other guests talk about is the gun and the positioning of the gun and how the gun jammed. He did have a suppressor. He did have a baffler on that gun from what we've seen in the videos that have been supplied to all of us out here in the field.
Thank you.
The gun jammed because of the recoil of the action on it and the baffler. And not only that, but the silencer, let's just call it what it is, a silencer. And it did not set off any of the monitors in the city area that listen for gunshots that would have
because
put
the silencer
in the area immediately.
Wow.
So it just seems like the perfect storm.
Well, Philip, I mean, we don't have much time, sadly, but let me ask you, how many bodyguards should have been around him? What would that detail have looked like to secure his safety?
He definitely should have had bodyguards, you guys.
If his company had hired our firm, we would have had 10 agents around him at the minimum.
Really?
And that would have been an advanced team in front of the hotel, but we would have never moved him like that. We would have moved him out of his hotel through the back entrance, put him in a small motorcade, brought him over to the back entrance of the other hotel. That's how we operate.
You're saying other CEOs would have that, Philip? I mean, you're saying CEOs of companies, that would be something like a government official. They would have that level of detail.
Yep, because he's fixing to give a speech in front of stockholders that are not being monitored and are not being checked. So I would make sure that on my
And I'm going to show you something in a minute. I'm going to hop over to this awesome slideshow that I got from one of the mods today that shows possible motives and some of his writings, you guys, and his philosophies and his thinking. And one of them looking at this says, when all forms of communication fail, violence is necessary to survive. I mean, this guy was writing that stuff down and thinking that and telling people. It's kind of like when you go back and you look at the Madeline Soto case and you see, Maddie writing in her little book, and you see a picture of a little girl giving a blowjob to a man, and right inside of her stuff, nobody saw it. Nobody saw it coming. That's what was coming from this guy. So I'm going to hop back to that next. Crown Royal, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hit the like button. We still have 476 people in chat. So hit the like button. Help me out to get to my 20,000 subscribers. And then we're going to give away some merch. Thank you, guys. And prayers for the Thompson family. No matter what he did, nobody deserves this. I wish there could be a better way for us to solve these problems, because this isn't going to solve any of our problems.
Team, if I was the detail leader, I would make sure that we would have had the room secure, number one, but number two, we would have brought him through a back entrance because it's that important. You're talking again about a very important man in this country.
Philip Klein, wow. Thank you so much.
All right, so we're going to stop this. That's crazy, you guys. All right, let's look at the possible motives, everybody. I have so many things today. And yes, absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Prayers to everybody, prayers to all families, and prayers to us, because this isn't going to help me with my insurance problems. And if I get sick and I go to Kaiser, it's not going to help me. It's not going to help any of you guys. I liked, even though my comments the wrong way in chat when I was commenting, I appreciate your job No problem, Macy. And I apologize if we took anything the wrong way. We all want the same. We all want justice for ourselves, our country, our family, and Brian Thompson's family. And we want to see what ticks. We want to see, can you blame him? I see his weakness. All right, let's take a look at this. Wyatt, what you say. Let's see what we're talking about here and how he was thinking as it led up to it. He's got the fake ID. We've got possible motives here. And if you guys are interested in taking a look at this for yourself, when you guys are done, you guys can go over to Patreon and I'll upload some of this stuff so you can look at it yourselves. Okay. Good night, Patronus, if you got to go. All right. Let me read this to you here. So here, oh, it scrolled. He says here, it says here, Luigi Mangione, Industrial Society and its Future. So it looks like relevant read, Christianity's decline has unleashed terrible new gods. So a couple things here that he talks about. He says when all other forms of communications fail, violence is necessary to survive. You may not like his methods, but you see things from his perspective. And he's saying to you guys, it's not terrorism, it's war and revolution. Fossil fuel companies actively suppress anything that stands in their way, and within a generation or two, it will begin costing human lives by greater and greater magnitudes until the Earth is just a flaming ball orbiting third from the sun. Peaceful protest is outright ignored. Economic protest isn't possible in the current system. So how long until we recognize that violence against those who led us to such destruction is justified as self-defense? So you see what he's going for there, right? You see what's happening? Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for still being here and listening. This is crazy. Sweet and Salty, what's up? Benefits matters. If anyone needs help with drug coverage, please hit me up on Discord. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You guys all do hit the like button. It does sound like there's a 3-page manifesto that we haven't even got yet. So let me get into this even more. I've been very fortunate. I'll put your comment down there. Let me tell you what else he's talking about here. What else? These companies don't care about you or your kids or grandkids. They have zero qualms about burning down the planet for a buck. So why should we have any qualms about burning them down to survive? You see what's happening here? And then last but not least, he says we're just animals like everything else on this planet, except we've forgotten the law of the jungle and bend over for the overlords when any other animals would recognize the threat and fight the death for their survival. Violence never solved anything is a statement uttered by cowards and predators. All right, you guys can see what's going on here. And then when I see his back being injured, where'd that spine picture go? Let me take a look. Hold on. Oh, this picture of the spine. You see that? And then the two things that I felt like motivators. Where'd the GoFundMe go? I had a GoFundMe. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Bob Mangione's cancer journey GoFundMe. Do you guys see that? That GoFundMe, she put it in there. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. We're about an hour and 17 minutes in, and we're still going. I love how you guys can agree with some of it. It says, unfortunately, animals are smarter. So I'm also going to listen to I want the full documentation of what happened today. So I'm going to put that up in there next. But yeah, false trials, it should say, and leads Bob Mangione's cancer journey. So if Bob is connected, Bob or Robert Mangione, we're going to find out. This is a picture that we saw earlier. There's some fake ID stuff that they got going on. There's a whole bunch in here that you can look at. They definitely got him on camera. He knew it. He loved it. He wants to be a hero, you guys. I mean, this is his way to be a hero. And he's got New York siding with him. A lot of New York. Not all New York. Don't get me wrong. Don't get mad. All right, let's keep going. I have so much to share, but I want to document this. What happened today, because I mean, this could start something bigger than we think, and I hope that it does. I hope that it starts something positive, so that we don't have people doing this. So we don't use this to try to solve or have violence solve our problem.
Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old
You could
male
still
on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of
Yes.
UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well
Agreed.
as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual.
You know, I have to agree with you, Kalista, and I love your point of view as well. We pretend we're better than this, but we spend millions of dollars on war every day. So why do we say killing people won't solve anything? Not in support of violence, but let's not lie to ourselves. I agree with you. Whenever I was younger, I would say, oh, we need to get a president that doesn't support war. That's never going to happen because war is an industry. Yes, war is violence, but it's an industry that we keep buying into so people don't lose their jobs. So yes, I love that. And Wyatt, you're right. Do your own research. This is never the answer. Guns don't kill people. Crazy people do. So all you guys are valid. And this guy, this might start something. This might start something. Yeah, I'm very upset about Liberty Mutual right now. They're not even taking homeowners insurance anymore, and they're valuing my house when I bought it $600,000 ago. So yeah, I'm gonna fight though. I'm gonna fight the right way. All right, let's keep going.
Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners on every level, local, state, and federal. We all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share information, and pursue every lead.
As the commissioner stated earlier, a male was taken into custody today in Altoona, Pennsylvania this morning. He has been identified as Luigi Nicholas Mangione. He's a male, 26 years old. He was born and raised in Maryland.
You know what would have been awesome, you guys, in LA film scene? This guy has a spectacular mind outside of whatever chatter he has, right? His mental health is not up to par. His mental health, obviously, something set it off. Maybe it was his back pain, because we know that pain sometimes gets unbearable and it could throw off your mental health. But when I'm looking at his credentials and I'm seeing the things he wrote, it's like he could have been something that would help us to actually arrest maybe Brian Thompson or other people. It's just outrageous that he did this. And he could have helped so many more people. Why say NYPD is greatest when a McDonald's employee did their job right? And I hope that McDonald's employee gets a reward as promised. All right, let's keep going.
No, he has ties to San Francisco, California, and his last known
San
address was
Francisco.
Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York. Members of the NYPD Detective Bureau are currently traveling to Pennsylvania with members of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to interview this subject. This case was brought to a successful conclusion based on the coordinated effort between numerous NYPD units, including the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau, our federal partners at the FBI, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and of course, members of the Altoona Police Department in Pennsylvania. On Thursday, one day after this crime was committed, the NYPD released a photo of the shooter in this case. This picture was obtained by the NYPD during one of their extensive video canvasses. We took that photograph and we asked for the public's help in identifying this subject, and the public responded. Hundreds of tips began to pour into our hotline. Each tip was investigated thoroughly, and we began to release additional photographs as they came into our possession. The NYPD provided these photos to numerous media outlets. Local, national, and international outlets released the photo.
And you guys are the ones, even though the McDonald's person tipped it in, you guys are the ones that helped solve this. And the police officers recognize that. In many interviews, I hear them talking about social media and the tips that came from social media. Everybody following, sharing it, sending the pictures out. It really did help. And they admitted that it helped to catch him. So we need to keep doing that and doing that in a positive way, right? Because that did help. And I wonder what I want to know what his motive was beyond the philosophies that he had going, and what did he think he was going to change by doing that? And I wonder, is it going to change anything? I don't know. Is it going to trigger something else or did it just take Brian Thompson's life?
Via television, print, social media, and online content. Luckily, a citizen in Pennsylvania recognized our subject and called local law enforcement. Members of the Altoona Police Department responded to the call, and based on their investigation, they notified the NYPD. This investigation is still active and ongoing. Thank you very much.
We're going to take questions on shooting first, and then we'll... Mark?
Over here, sir.
MJ?
Chief, was the suspect wearing a mask at the time he was spotted in the McDonald's? And also,
McDonald's.
Criminal cases often have a linchpin. Can you point to a single linchpin that helped crack this case?
There's numerous linchpins in this case, in the fact that we've recovered an enormous amount of forensic evidence, an enormous amount of video, and once again, with your help and the public's help. So I really couldn't put it on one thing, but
yes,
if I had
you
to,
guys,
the release of that photograph from the media.
You guys.
You said he had a passport on him. Do you believe he was trying to flee the country? And also, are you still looking for any evidence in Central Park in regards to the bike?
We had divers in the water yesterday that came up negative results. The passport, we don't believe that he was planning on doing any traveling at this time. We don't think at this point in our investigation, we don't think he was trying to flee the country.
The person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
You said
he was sitting there eating.
McDonald's is getting free publicity.
Will the suspect be brought back to New York and charged here? And when?
We're going to have to work that out with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He's going to be facing gun charges there. And at some point.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's a good question or a good comment. He did idolize Ted Kaczynski. I hadn't even got to go over that. I was pulling up this information here. 26 years old from Honolulu, right? We know how amazing that place is. We know Hawaii. He is a son of a country club owner, Turf Valley Country Club. When you guys see it, you're gonna shit and you're gonna be like, why did this dude just throw his whole life away? He's a cousin of a lawmaker, Antonio Mangione, who's an American politician from the Republican Party, and the member of the Maryland House of Delegates. And yes, he looks up to literally Ted Kaczynski, and he has some philosophies in here that I didn't even read to you yet. He was educated almost exclusively in science and didn't have a good balance of science and humanities. He's all over the place culturally and politically, ranging from AOC to neo-Nazi and alt-right posers. Very much like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, and some of the podcasts that he listened to were bordered on incels, you guys. That's probably because he didn't study psychology or sociology and this is all opinion, was entirely driven by hard science. And a lot of his writings, most of his writings were on his X or Twitter repost, which I was going through earlier. If you literally just go down his X, you can see a lot of his philosophies that he carried around with him. And I do think that he was partially in the mindset of an incel, meaning that I think he was nerdy and not refined in his mind. What he was thinking just wasn't attractive at the time to women. And so that turns some people into incels. He came from a fantastic family, lots of money, influential. But when you see his back and you see those pins in his back at that age and you see his body, right? He's got a freaking 12-pack. He works out like a madman to keep that body, but he's in constant back pain. Yeah, Darlene says, I'm in pain. He's 26 years old. You're saying it burns 70 to 80%. I mean, imagine his state of mind and trying to balance his philosophy with his education and his beliefs, and then maybe not even able to get a girlfriend because he's so nerdy and has weird philosophies. I don't know, but many times that will turn an incel into something that ends up inciting or committing a violent act. And we can study that. I study that. I don't have statistics for it, but he sounds very conflicted. I agree. Jay, can you repeat what is a philosophy? Okay, so I'll tell you real quick. He had many philosophies, but some of his philosophies were he was educated almost exclusively in sciences, and he didn't have a good balance of science and humanities, just pure scientific. And he soaked that up. That's what he kept. He was definitely all over the place culturally and politically, but ranging from AOC to neo-Nazi and alt-right posters. Very much like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Some of the podcasts that he listened to were bordering on incels. That's probably because he didn't study psychology or sociology and was strictly driven by hard science. Now, lots of his philosophies were on X, and I put that up earlier, so I read some of those. Now, he could have been on lots of medication, and that wasn't helping him. Maybe he was it was just making his mind go crazy, not able to sleep. Mr. Beer, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. You guys are amazing. I'm trying not to be distracted because this is a very serious topic, and I never want anyone to take my balancing act as something else. I'm just trying to balance. I'm trying to balance out what happened, what I think, what you think, and what's fair. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, Bama Girl 41 for the 199 super sticker. I see you're supporting my channel. Thank you. And I hope to see you soon in maybe a members only. Wow, you're amazing. Thank you. When I was 2, I burned. Now night 55. Yeah, being in constant pain can't help. You guys saw that. You saw that beyond the pain, it limits your physical abilities, but you saw how yoked he was, right? He had like a 12-pack, so I'm wondering what it is that got him through that, and if that was something that decided what the fate of or was it bigger? Did he decide the fate of Brian Thompson because of his personal experiences, or was it a bigger philosophy of his? I wonder if we're gonna know.
And we'll work out through extradition to bring him back to New York to face charges here, working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Hi, Anita from the New York Post. I was just hoping to get more details on the capture itself. Did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to cops? And we've also reported that he published online anti-health care industry rantings. Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said,
see
what's
happening
toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working
scrubbing
very hard
social
to bring this to a
media,
successful
you guys.
conclusion.
The capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to police?
I don't have that information.
No.
Sorry,
They don't make you do that.
Can you elaborate on how he got there, the path he took from Port Authority and on the George Washington Bridge to Altoona, PA? Same thing.
This just happened this morning. We'll be backtracking his steps from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I was going to ask if we knew anything, if he took a bus to Philadelphia first and then somehow got to Altoona. But
We're still working on that. We're still working through that.
Is there any indication that anybody else was helping him from the inside, as far as tracking the CEO's movement?
Once
Thank
again,
you.
we're still working this investigation very hard. It's not at its conclusion yet. That could come out during our investigation, but as of right now, we have no indication that that took place.
Chief, did he have any weapons or anything like that with him when he was arrested?
He was in possession of a ghost gun that had the capability of firing a 9mm round and a suppressor.
Okay, there it is. I've been wanting to hear that officially. So that absolutely, let's take that veterinarian gun off the table, guys. That wasn't a vet gun. And when I initially saw the video and I saw what he had and I could hear it, because if you go on a Patreon, I tried to put it on YouTube, but I got in trouble for it. If you go onto my Patreon and listen to the video, there's audio. You can hear how quiet it is, and you can see when the gun gets jammed. It's not a veterinarian gun. It's a freaking replica 9mm. So he must have got the upper. He purchased the upper and then printed the lower. And it was a 9mm. A 9mm is always going to do the job. And then he was smart with a silencer. So no vet gun. It was a 9mm, we'll say replica ghost gun with a silencer, which is what I've been waiting. Yes, they did. It was 3D printed. Ghost guns, when they say a ghost gun, it's usually 3D printed. You buy the upper and you print the lower. You can go on to eBay right now, you guys. Go on to eBay and type in 9mm upper, and you can get it sent to you. It'll be here by freaking, what day is it? It'll be here by Wednesday or Thursday. And then you just go put a part file into your 3D printer, hit print, comes out, put that together, throw a bullet in there. Absolutely, my tie. Absolutely, it works like a real gun, and in some cases better. I'm a mechanical engineering COO, so I know all about that. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you, my girl. All right, so yeah, no veterinary gun. It's a ghost gun, 9mm with the silencer.
Can you get into a little bit about the technical aspects of the investigation? I know you deployed an unprecedented amount of technology. You also activated the Sentry program through Intel. Can you talk about how that is going to play into actually building the case as far as cell phone and all of the other technical aspects of what you've done?
Yeah.
In this case, it really came down to technology was the use of drones in Central Park, and really comes down to the video canvas that we did. We used every source of video that we could collect, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours from hundreds of sources, and that helped bring this to where we are right now.
The gun is it believed to be the gun he used in the shooting? And there was some talk that it was a veterinarian type gun.
No veterinarian
right
type
now, the
of gun.
information we're getting from Altoona is that the gun appears to be a ghost gun, may have been made on a 3D printer. The capability of firing a 9mm round, obviously that will come out during our ballistics testing.
All right, so yeah, you guys don't want to do that, and I'm just letting you know we have a problem in San Jose with that too. They just busted a house that had a ton of ghost guns, like 50 ghost guns in their garage. Now, Wyatt, I've been a tattoo artist for the last 25 years. I have a tattoo studio that I go by appointment only, but I've also been working at my company for 17 years as the COO of a mechanical engineering company. So I'm 45 years old. I've had a life beyond YouTube and beyond my job. So yes, I am very proficient in doing tattoos, but I've been doing YouTube now. Anyway, so I just want to let you know, you guys can go out and do that yourself if you wanted. If you don't know how to put a gun together, you're not going to know how to get a ghost gun and print it, and you don't know what a part file is. If you really wanted to do it, you'll be able to do it. All right. Oh, I hope your husband's okay. I hope the insurance pays for it, Sharon. Wink, wink. You live on Almaden? What? I'm in San Jose. I have a private studio, The Crow. Email me. All right.
Oliver? Yeah, Oliver Barnes from the Financial Times. Do you have any indication like how long this handwritten, is it a handwritten manifesto that you found on the suspect? And then also whether or not he put it online at all?
Don't know if it's online. As of right now, it's a handwritten 3-page document.
Chief, does he have ties to that area, and was he someone who you knew by name before his arrest?
We believe he may have attended college in Pennsylvania, but like I said earlier, he has ties to Maryland and California and Hawaii.
California.
Was his name on your radar?
Excuse me?
Was his name on your radar? Was he someone who you had been looking into before his arrest?
No, we did not have his name prior to today.
It's okay. Does he have any prior arrests? I know there were none for New York City, but is there any prior arrests anywhere else in the country?
We have not come across any arrests in the country.
Chief,
Thank you.
on two things. On the ghost gun, is it something you're going to be looking into to see if he made it himself? And can he make that himself? Or
Of course he can make it
would he
himself.
have to buy the gun the way it was?
No, once again, that'll be part of our investigation as we follow up.
Now, let me tell you something real quick behind the scenes. Every one of my engineers, everyone, okay? And I have lots of engineers that work for Google, Apple, Snap. If you didn't know Snapchat makes glasses like Google glasses. Okay, so all of those guys that work for Apple, Google, Snapchat, Facebook has products too. Remember, it came together with Meta. Every one of them are mechanical engineers, and they know how to do that in their sleep. They know exactly what parts to print, and yeah, making gun is an art. It is an art and totally doable. Absolutely. When you're an engineer, you can wake up and rub your eyes and say, I'm going to make 5 guns today. I think I'll take an AR-15. I'll take an Uzi. I'll take a 9mm. I'll do a 40 caliber while I'm at it too. Now, revolvers are a little bit harder to do, and people don't sell those parts. But if you go on to eBay right now and type in 9mm upper, that's the most common gun that's going to be a ghost gun ever. And then he's an engineer. He was a nerdy engineer, this guy. So that makes so much sense. And it puts the story quite well together.
I mean, obviously he's going to face murder charges, but is there any chance that he could face any other charges because he was targeting the CEO, and because of his writings and other things that we're now finding on him? Federal charges or
That determination will be made by Alvin Bragg.
What connections does he have in Pennsylvania that you know of, and are they in Altoona specifically?
We believe he attended college in Pennsylvania.
Does he know anybody in Pennsylvania?
Wouldn't be able to tell you that.
All right, we're gonna take one more question on the shooting, Marla, and then we're gonna go.
You talk about the manifesto having said things against corporations, but specifically UnitedHealthcare, and do you believe that Mangione acted alone?
We believe at this point, our investigation is leaning toward he was acting alone. So,
It
like I
means you
stated
can't
earlier,
trace it.
we're still working through the investigation. We're not stopping today. And as far as the manifesto, like I said, I don't have the complete details of that. It's in the possession of the Altoona Police Department.
No serial numbers. That's what it means. All right. All right. So a ghost gun means there's no serial numbers, you guys. I'm going to pull up the arrest report real quick. And then I love reading your guys' comments. I love that you guys are getting along in chat, even though we're talking about, the topic that we're talking about is not for the faint of heart. I wish I wouldn't have used the wrong thing today. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, there it is. Let's take a look real quick at the arrest report. I want to have that documented for sure. And hold on. Can you see it? Okay, you kind of can see it. Anyway, there's the arrest report. I'm going to go through it real quick. You guys keep hitting the like button. If you haven't hit it, don't hit it again or you're going to unlike it. All right. Diversity. Yes, it does. Absolutely. We absolutely do. We don't condone violence, but we definitely have opinions around here. All right. So this was police criminal complaint, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you guys. So this is in Pennsylvania. Somebody asked me if they have the death penalty in New York, and I believe they do, but Pennsylvania is different. It was in Altoona. So if somebody in chat could let me know if the death penalty's in PA, I don't think this will be a death penalty case just because it's too controversial. But we'll see. Male, white. It says white, non-Hispanic, brown. DNA, no, they didn't get that. Defendant fingerprinted, no. This guy was 5'11", 170 pounds there. That gives you a little bit better sense. I thought he was smaller than that, you guys. And then here, let's see what it says. Status description include forgery. Maybe is that because of the IDs? A person is guilty of forgery if with intent to defraud or knowledge he is facilitating a fraud or injury, perplexed or perpetrated by anyone the actor utters in writing, forged in manner specified in paragraph. So that must be because of his false IDs, the fake IDs. Hold on, am I even sharing this anymore? One sec. Can you guys see it? Kinda. All right. I love you guys. You guys are entertaining yourself in chat real quick. Forgery weapons charge. More coming from I'm doing it right now with forgery and weapons charge. More charges coming from New York. I heard is a vendetta, maybe of his family member. Maybe. I keep trying to connect the two, but we're gonna see as we go. Wait. Am I reading this wrong? Is there a troll? Is there a troll in chat? I think if there's a troll in chat, I think you guys will take care of it, right? I got plenty of mods in here. All right. Okay, you can see it. Good. If you're watching it from your TV, you definitely can see it. All right. So PA, Pennsylvania does have the death penalty. And if there are more charges coming from New York, well, then, and he was willing to throw his life away. I hope that he's happy with what happens. I'm sending Venmo for Mods Coffee Fund. Thank you so much, Sharon. And I definitely been on a coffee kick this week. All right. Shooting happening, or he'll be tried there. No death. Okay. No death penalty in New York. Pennsylvania does have one. Okay. So it's they have the arrest in Pennsylvania. Is he facing federal? That's a good question. And you guys asked what ghost guns are. A ghost is non-traceable. So there's no numbers. There's no serial numbers. All right. So if it's in New York, no death penalty, not New York or Pennsylvania, then it will. Perfect. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that he's very attractive. So I don't know. Let's look at this though. All right. Solicitation 1802. Excuse. Firearms not carried without a license. Firearms not carried without a license. Okay, so he hasn't got, there's no murder charges here on this one, you guys. This is the forgery and the firearms without a license. Interesting. Yeah, so this is the Pennsylvania one is not a murder charge. Tampering with records or identification and a misdemeanor. That's a misdemeanor for that. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Possessing instruments of a crime, criminal instruments. A person commits a misdemeanor. So this is no big deal here. So if they extradite him back to New York, there's absolutely no death penalty. All right, here's what happened. All right, so they went to this plank road for suspicious mail. This is how it happened, y'all. Okay, so McDonald's mail resembling a recent shooting in New York on December 4th. Officers were advised in dispatch notes that the male was wearing a medical mask and a beanie. Upon arrival, officers were able to locate the male matching the aforementioned description sitting in the rear of the building at a table. He was wearing a blue medical mask and looking at a silver laptop that was placed on the table. The male also had a backpack on the floor near the table he was sitting at. Co-affiant made contact with the male and informed that officers were called to the McDonald's for a suspicious male matching the description. Co-affiant asked the male to pull down his mask so he can see his face. He complied and pulled it down. Co-affiant immediately recognized him as a suspect from New York. Seeing photos released from him, co-affiant identified the male or asked the male for identification, and he gave him a New Jersey driver's license bearing the name Mark Rosario. So he said he's Mark Rosario, born 7/21/1998. They took the license and ran the information. The male, if he had New York recently, and the male became quiet and started to shake. Ooh, he started to shake, you guys. He's not as tough as I thought. All right, at this time, dispatch was unable to find any information on the fake ID, obviously, and they still found no record. The male was advised that he was under an official police investigation, and if he lied out of his identity, he'd get arrested. He then stated the name was Luigi Mangione, and then he gave his real birth date, 5/6/1998. The driver's license that the defendant provided was found to be a fake identification card. They asked the defendant why he lied about his name, and he said, "I clearly shouldn't have." And they gave him the forgery and false identification because of that. The defendant was placed into custody. The defendant was handcuffed and searched on scene. He was then transported back to Altoona Police Department, where his property was inventoried. And during the search of the defendant's backpack, they located a 3D printed pistol and black silencer. That's why the pistol had a metal slide and a plastic handle with a metal threaded barrel. The pistol had one loaded Glock magazine with 9mm full metal jacket rounds. There was one 9mm loose hollow point round. The silencer was also 3D printed. He's being charged right now with forgery and firearms not carried without a license, tampering with records, and false identification. All right. That's it. That was a good one. So he's not getting arrested for, he's not getting arrested right now for murder. He was arrested for false identification and the gun. All right. So, seeming expensive pretty boy became a homicidal psychopath over an insurance beef. That's what we're trying to find out. That's what I want to know, you guys. His message got lost as a copycat Unabomber, right? Several fake IDs. Yeah, they only charged him once, though. There's only one thing they charged him. All right. And Leanne, I'm not sure you have my email if you need to get a hold of me. All right, you guys. You guys are awesome. I think we had an amazing chat today. We're almost 2 hours in, and your comments, your questions, you guys have been awesome. How'd you get mad at rich people when you're rich? Homeboy is so whack. That's what I'm wondering too. When you look him up, that guy has the means for everything, unless his parents cut him off, which we don't know yet. Something's got to give on this. What did Jay supposedly? What happened, you guys? Did he say why he did it? No, but Sharon, you're going to have to go back and watch this because he has metal screws in him, and his metal screws say that he's been involved with the health care industry. We don't know what happened. Thank you, Synth. You guys make sure that you guys have your membership or your gifts options on so that you can get a membership. They can trace a gun. They can't prove he did it. Right. Jay, good luck finding the insurance. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys are awesome. Yes, you guys do have to go and watch that. He has not hired an attorney yet. This only happened mere hours ago. So if he did hire an attorney, we just don't know about it. But we're going to keep finding out. This case is moving really fast. And I'm wondering what it was too. I'm wondering if it was the principal or if it was if it was literally something that his family was connected to. Maybe they turned down an uncle that did the GoFundMe. Maybe he was turned down for the 4 screws in his back. I don't know. This is a crazy devil shows up in beautiful people. That's why I'm scared. Yeah, a lot of you guys think that he's a gorgeous guy, 5'11", 170 pounds, good looking guy, abs. They were saying they have no sympathy for the victim because of how they messed up the insurance. Pure insanity. I know it is insanity. I do. And I say prayers for the Thompson family, especially for the wife and children. All right, you guys, almost 2 hours. I love you guys. Leanne, get yourself out of here. Carrie, go back and watch. Sherry J, looks could be deceiving. Mr. Beer, you weren't too late for the party. Hair and wardrobe fun just for you. Thanks for always looking great for us. Well, you're welcome, Mr. Beer. I appreciate it. And that makes me feel better when I make sure my hair's done for you guys and my shirts aren't wrinkled. I do appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'm gonna have to fight my insurance company, and I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so. All I do is want a roof, you guys, for Christmas. All I want is a roof for Christmas. So thank you guys. Artemis Prime, one of my favorite new crime crew. And all you guys, thank you guys so very much. God bless you. I will see you guys tomorrow. And thanks, Eva. I appreciate that. Love to all you guys. Sharon, thank you. All of you guys. Amazing. I love this freaking crew. I can't even express how much I love you guys. Mwah. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?